Hi everybody, I'm Spaventi. I'm a mix and mastering engineer as well as a music producer. I'm originally from Italy, but I moved to Holland a few years ago, and I would like to welcome you tonight in my production studio in Amsterdam. I'm currently working on an electro-ish kind of tune, and I'm designing a preset for DynOne 3 to achieve a particular type of compression. And the need for this preset came by the fact that this tune features a really heavy kick drum. In particular, it's an 808 kick with a really heavy fundamental around 56, 57 hertz. So I got inspired in designing this preset by a classic studio outboard compressor. And what I want to achieve here is called Band Selective Compression. Now, DynOne 3 is an excellent multi-band compressor with parallel capabilities, meaning that it was mainly designed to be used in parallel mode, which means that you're going to have a dry and a wet signal at all times. And in particular with DynOne 3, the dry signal is always 100% on, and the wet control is achieved with the faders. But what we want to do tonight is to keep the parallel path or the dry parallel path off and exploit the multi-band capabilities of DynOne 3. In particular, if you follow me on screen, I designed this preset to use only 2 bands out of the available 5, and I'm setting the crossover to be really low, around 60 Hz to begin with. So I got DynOne to divide the spectrum as of I keep the sub-frequencies isolated from the rest. And tuning the crossover at 60 Hz means that I've got the left fader to control the sub-range, and the right fader to control everything else. Initial settings, real quick, relatively low threshold, ratio 4 to begin with for the sub-range, ratio 1 for the rest, which means it's not going to do anything. Timings, one of the coolest features of DynOne 3 is the double timing for attack and release. You don't just set a timing in milliseconds for the attack and one for the release, but you've got a range, both for attack and release. This gives DynOne a very, very musical and transparent character. I love it. So initial timings, 200 to 340, 400 for the attack, 68, 70 to 140 for the release. The right band, we keep tight timings now for a trick that I will show at the end of the video. And let's take a listen. So let's play the tune. Very cool. So as you can hear, without DynOne 3, the mix has a certain character, heavy kick, there's space. With DynOne 3 on, all of a sudden the sub-range is sucked into the compression, it's kept under control. This means that all that energy that I take away from the sub, I can restore it somehow by pushing the levels a bit, or I can do upward expansion for the right band, because as you know, the ratio in DynOne 3 can be set both to numbers higher than 1 to 1 or fractions of 1 to 1. So if I go, for example, 0.8, 0.9, that means that I'm doing upward expansion, which means that as the signal goes above threshold, it's pushed even further up. So this adds a lot of liveliness, impact, punch to the music, and it's another cool feature of this plugin. So let's take a listen, check it out. Even with extreme settings, DynOne retains this really beautiful character. So last couple of settings to take care of. Detection, 0%. You want to start with RMS detection. Although when we're doing upward expansion, probably a blend of the two would be nice. Channel link 100%, you want to keep it solid stereo. Weighting 0%, no influence between the bands, so the two bands work absolutely separately. Global band trim 0 dB, parallel mode off, crossovers depending how your computer can handle, band compositor, everything else as standard. So to recap, I designed this preset to achieve band selective compression, which means that I tuned DynOne 3 to be a mostly sub-band compressor and leave the rest of the spectrum untouched, with the extra feature of doing upward expansion if you want. This gives us a tighter bass, a more controlled sub-range, more energy to distribute across the spectrum or even get it just a bit louder. And with upward expansion also gives us more liveliness, more impact and punch to the rest of the material. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon.